OER, Transforming Teacher Collaboration for the Learning Forward Academy 2018. Hello, I'm Dr. Jeanette Westfall, Executive Director for Curriculum Instruction and Staff Development for Liberty Public Schools in Missouri. And today we'll be talking about our SMART goals, the Gusky evaluation level, my evaluation design, summary of findings, study limitations, implications, and then the lessons I learned from the Academy. So we'll start with the SMART goal. Who this impacted was the teacher teams who were involved in Go Open in my district. We were able to implement the initiative by studying the effectiveness of the process and policy utilized for creation and curation of OER as a primary resource for content courses. And then finally, I measured the outcomes through the ability of teachers to use online resources and teacher feedback on professional development, their perception of the changes, the quality and context of teacher collaboration around the OER work, and then the statistics on the time involved, the units what we created, the quality of the units that we created with OER as a support, and then the number of teachers and courses we are currently using for OER as a primary resource. The Gusky evaluation level that I targeted was a level 4, and we did accomplish this actually earlier than December 2018 by measuring the changes in our teaching practices. Our indicators are actually found on our district website in addition to national publications about the work. We will be working on a level 5 to implement through student access, and transition to Go Open pedagogy is where students create the resources and content as a part of the process of OER. My evaluation design was to use Clarity Bright Bites, a platform that allowed us to survey our teachers, students, and parents. The information was organized by specific questions that allowed us to look at integration of digital tools into our instruction and a couple of customized questions specific to OER. We presented this data to our buildings and the LPS Go Open leadership team for analysis, and then we made our adjustments every time the survey was given, which is twice a year. The summary of our findings was there is an increased need for growing the processes that help guide districts through OER implementation. We also added Creative Commons licenses to the work that we used and shared publicly for other districts to borrow. There is an increased need to define OER understanding, and finally, an increased need for professional learning around how to align OER to standards. The limitations on my study was that we did not include student input until the second year, and we were limiting the teacher teams to those only who volunteered to work with OER and just not the entire district. Finally, nationally, there's a limited amount of research available on K-12 use of OER, although a lot in higher ed. And so you'll see the information that's provided online and in several places actually includes Liberty Public Schools' work in the OER arena. Last but not least, my recommendations. We are going to continue to support our teachers and teachers in other school districts as an ambassador district for OER. We have created a budgeting process that allows us to network and provide professional learning for our teachers. Liberty Public Schools will continue to access research so that we can borrow, learn, and study quality OER, including turnkey, and review and reflect on the products that we have in place. And last but not least, we are excited to contribute to the body of knowledge around the use of OER and support organizations and researchers with that work. So my lessons from the Academy include 3. 1, I loved the innovation configurations. This was a new learning tool for me, and I actually brought that back to my district and shared it with our PDC. So that was fun to see that cross over to a variety of different areas in our district. Secondly, I love being connected with learners from across the nation. So the Academy allowed me access to people who I would have never had another opportunity to connect in respect to professional learning. And finally, if I was going to give one single tip to anybody considering attending a Learning Forward Academy, I would say that when you submit your research ideas, to make sure that that it's really authentic and that the discovery and learning really matches the work that you're doing, because that allows you to be successful in the study over the 3 years of time. So thanks to everyone for listening to my story about my research. You can find me anytime if you have questions about OER on Twitter at Jet Westfall, or contact me by email, jeanette.westfall@lps53.org. Thanks.